Hello and welcome to a fresh edition of the Deep Dive. With me today, I have my brother, in fact, literally my brother, my friend, my colleague, senior colleague in the creative industry, my mentor sometimes, because Obinna, in fact, I can go on, but I have today Obi Okerekeocha. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Yes,
yes, you
now,
did. Yes,
Obi is a creative, all-round creative, because he does it all. And I couldn't have had this podcast and not have you on at all, because your work is fantastic. You have done that work for several years, currently working with one of the biggest banks in Africa, producing great content. Am I making your head swell? I feel like your head is swelling.
I'm really going to follow this chair now.
Producing great content, and then we've shared moments. We've had those conversations.
Good moments. Good moments.
Yeah. When you look at me and say, you know what, my sister, I don't think you should do this, but if you have done it, I will help you as much as you can. And I really appreciate you if I haven't said it. So, welcome to the Deep Dive. Is a podcast by Explore Nollywood and Streamline Media, and we're talking brands and advertising. Explore, of course, Nollywood, and then just growth professionally. And that's what I'm going to do as much as possible today. So, just kicking off, coming from a creative background. Your dad was a photographer. Your granddad, was a photographer. You talk about that a lot. Your dad was a creative artist for one of the biggest agencies of the time. And now you. What gets you up in the morning, Obi?
Nice to be here, Efeturi, and thank you so much for having me, and thank you for all the good words. I think my head is literally swelling.
I know, I do that to people.
Yeah, so what gets me up in the morning? I think just, the fact that it's another opportunity to create. I think that is what really makes it all worthwhile, because every day it's a new day to do something new.
Yeah.
And, based on what I do, there's always that feeling of, okay, today we're going to do something else. What are we going to do today? That kind of thing. So, whether it's working with young creatives to create new content, or working with a fellow co-producer, or working with a scriptwriter, or, essentially working with people in graphics, there's always something new. So I think it's really about, okay, today we're going to do something new. So that's what you look forward to every day.
Yeah. So do you agree that when you know creatives, just know that you might be in the room with them, but their mind is elsewhere? I recall several times when I'm having a conversation with Obi, we're trying to mix things. Okay, this idea, and then Obinna moves to the piano and he's like, I'm like, oh my God, am I talking to myself? And he's like, so just tell us about this creative process. How does it come to you?
Yeah, fantastic. In fact, it's great to talk about the creative process. Now, the thing is, it differs from creative to creative, and let me just say this here. Every human being is creative, How you wear your hair, that's a bit of creativity. How you brush your teeth, how you wear your shoes, your hair. Everybody has the DNA of creativity. The question is how much of it you express. So let me say it this way. I think that it differs from person to person. Like for me, I just come to me almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I feel like it.
Anywhere, anytime. I could be literally having conversation like you explained, and something just comes to my head, and I just need to put this down. But thinking about it critically, a lot of ideas come to me when I'm in the shower.
Don't tell me I want to do this.
So basically what happens is that, so I have a creative challenge or brief or task, and I'm thinking about it, and just when I wake up and I'm having my, my shower, and this says, okay, if you tried it like that, or if you tried that, or you did that, or you added this, because so many times, and it comes with me sleeping over it and saying, okay, how am I going to execute this thing? I really have to make it. I don't just want to do it. I want to make it stand out. So it just comes. Sometimes that's why I like to surround myself with a lot of what I call creative devices. Yeah. Like in my house, literally beside my bed, I have my studio. So I have my keyboard, I have my speakers, I have my screens, everything. So if I can wake up at 2 a.m., I can start composing. When I'm downstairs in my house, I have an upright piano. It's what I'm thinking about, because I compose music. So if I have a creative idea, I just go to and start playing. Any time of day. So there is literally no inhibitions. And I've built it that way. And it's something that it's something I've always wanted. So around me, my phone is. If I show you the things I do with my phone,
if Obi takes a picture of you, you'll be like, no.
So
no. So you're great with your hands. Of course, your mind is fantastic. It blows me all the time. Again, when I was taking on a new role, I think I called you and I was like, Obi, how exactly can I execute? What can I do differently? Obi gave me 3 different ideas. Unfortunately, I haven't started any, but
it's all good.
He gave me 3 different ideas, and I was like, when I got off the phone, I was like, why didn't I talk to you earlier? It feels just easy to have that conversation with you.
No, thank you.
So you have had the opportunity to produce documentaries.
Yeah.
Adverts.
Yep.
Of course. For one of the biggest banks and foundations in Africa.
Yep.
If you were to choose.
Oh my God.
Lifestyle series, movies, music, or documentary, which will it be? And why?
Very good question. Now you have me. I mean, anybody that knows me knows I'm a cinephile. I love movies. I mean, I literally live in a box, just in that wonderland of, of fiction and all that stuff. I love to watch films, different kinds, different genres, thrillers, dramas, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of creation, I always say this to people and my creative friends that I think documentaries are very unexplored. You know why? Because it is non-fiction.
Yeah,
and there's so many things, from reenactment to how you can tell a story, take a very big story and break it apart and bring it together. So I just feel that there is a lot more in terms of what you can do with something that is not scripted, that is non-fictional. For me, in terms of creativity, that was something I would love to do, because I've done a couple, I've worked on several projects on teams and done some myself, but I just feel that there are a lot of boundaries you can push, and non-fiction is becoming very huge in streaming platforms now. And big documentaries, like there's one, like for instance, it's what's it called now? The Michael,
is it the Kobe one?
No, the Kobe one. No, the Michael Jordan one. It's called I can't remember the name now, but basically what happened was they took I think it's called The Last Dance. That's what it's called, The Last Dance, because I knew it was somewhere. I was just refreshing, rebooting my head. So basically, in Michael Jordan's final year with the Chicago Bulls, they got a team to follow the team around for a complete season. And they were filming everything from locker talks to vacations with family, moving around with them, and all of them. So Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, everybody in that great Chicago Bulls team, and they just recorded everything. Now they had that footage just lying around. Now I think that between ESPN and Michael Jordan, they wanted to talk about that era, and all that footage became important, and now you could see a deep dive into what made that team great. I just feel that documentaries just give us a window into the realities that are around us. Fiction is great, takes you to this place, you can do biopics, tell great fiction, but I just feel that non-fiction, because it's steeped in reality, there is so much expansion that it has. It has a way of just making you see the world from a completely different perspective and just appreciate the reality that's around you. So in terms of what I would prefer to do and make, I think documentaries. But in terms of watching, I watch films all day.
Movie buff.
But creating docs.
That's so good.
I like docs.
I think what you just said just brought back something to mind right now. So having a lot of footage, being able to collect and preserve is what will definitely keep even the movie industry moving. For a very long time, and not to call out any platform, people were expectant that NTA was a collector and preserver of those types of things.
Quite sad.
So again, you know where I'm going to. We don't have any actual footage from program series and everything we used to enjoy back in the day, from our village headmaster to Ripples to all
Checkmate.
Behind the Cloud, Checkmate, all those things that we really like. Nobody can say, I can take this piece and use it. I think some of the creatives, even everything is created from fresh, from start. We're not picking and using.
Except stuff that some really smart people are able to put on YouTube. So we had that even with the adverts as well. We can readily have the masters, the originals. Exactly.
Also, so we're not a saving country.
So I think so you're speaking something that really touches my heart, because there's so many times I've been in a situation where I'm trying to do a documentary for an institution, and for some reason there's no archival material for you to fall back to, and it's quite sad. Now I tell you what, the even the footage of our independence, what you see around, like when you see, Tafawa Balewa's speeches, and you see the queen, the representative queen, like Alexandria, who presented the queen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all